Hello everyone, Mark here, Mark's Max Muscle. And this here dude is Günter Schlierkamp, and this is him at the 2002 Mr. Olympia event. And as many of you people would believe, he was the uncrowned 2002 Mr. Olympia champion. And with shots like this, well, I'd be inclined to believing that as well. And I do say you people, because most of the comments that I see, it is popular belief that he really did beat Ronnie Coleman. But come on, guys. There was a couple other gentlemen there. There was Chris Cormier and, of course, Kevin Levrone. They placed second and third, respectively. And Dexter Jackson, he could be a dark horse in this entire competition. All of those guys that I aforementioned, they all placed ahead of Günter Schlierkamp, including Dexter Jackson. So if you want to get to the bottom of this and discover who really won this competition, boom, we're going to lay it out on the line right here, right now, guys. And this is going to take a little while, so I'll be honest, I already judged this one. And this is why I had to, because I couldn't fit all five of them in the row. So this is the fifth, fourth, and third place winners of the front relaxed position. And there's not going to be an entire point. There's going to be an entire point delivered to the man that is the overall winner of the Symmetry round. Dexter Jackson falls dead last in the front relaxed. Kevin Levrone, not the best position for him, takes second to last. And the king, Ronnie Coleman, he takes first in this lineup. And this is the first two, the top guys in the front relaxed position. Chris Cormier looks outstanding, and I'm not going to go into detail. You could ask me questions of why I picked certain gentlemen in certain poses, but this is five guys, so I have to really run through these. It's obvious to me. Chris Cormier, yes, he is a little bit smaller, but that waistline is also nice and cinched in there. And look at the abs. The abs are the icing on the cake. Gunter looks good, though. He was beating everybody else. All right, all right. Side, turn to the side, gentlemen. In which case, the king, Ronnie Coleman, falls dead last. What a terrible position for Ronnie. This year, anyway. Very slender. Dexter Jackson, with a small stature, is able to defeat Ronnie, in my opinion, that is. Chris Cormier, the best in this lineup. These are the two top men. Günter Schlierkamp, once again, second place here. At this time, it is to Kevin Levrone. His upper body is just a little bit too much. Judging by the legs, though, man, Günter Schlierkamp, look at the condition that man was in. Okay, one more pose for the Symmetry round, and oh, Kevin Levrone, he's a little too soft. He's soft in the glutes, and not much separation in the back. I'm surprised. Maybe the timing may have been off, but either way, Dexter Jackson, it is a blurry picture, but you can still see the striated glutes and the lower back. It's just fantastic. Just enough to beat Kevin Levrone. If Levrone was a little tighter, he would definitely be beating Dexter. He's a lot bigger. And look at the back on Chris Cormier. Fantastic. His legs are good and big, but he is a little soft. Otherwise, I would have had him first or second. Anyway, these are the two top men, and Ronnie Coleman gets some redemption. He probably won't fall dead last now in the Symmetry round. And Günter Schlierkamp, on the other hand, second best once again. And of course, if you add it all up, he wins the Symmetry round. So 4 good points goes right into Günter Schlierkamp's bank account. And Chris Cormier took second place in the Symmetry round. That front relaxed position, that was a big win. That boosted him up high. Ronnie Coleman comes in third place, so he gets 2 points. Chris with 3. Kevin Levrone, second to last. He gets 1 point. Dexter gets nothing. And this is how I'm going to judge these ones. So if you want to keep your own score at home, this is the first pose, guys, the meat and potatoes of the operation. The muscularity round begins. And what a terrible start for one Ronnie Coleman. If you look at all of the pictures of the front double bicep, it was his right bicep, and even the tricep was dwindled away to nothing. And if you know me and my judging, I would feel guilty if I didn't punish those that are not symmetrical. Of course, if you look 2003, both of his arms were large. So he really must have messed up on his training or something. I don't know. This is a very lean version of Ronnie Coleman. And his gut was going to be a gut no matter what. It's almost like it stayed the same size. So when he got smaller, his gut was almost more pronounced. Either way, one of the worst renditions of Ronnie Coleman, in my opinion. Günter Schlierkamp, terrible pose for him as well. But in my opinion, just enough to beat Ronnie Coleman. Dexter Jackson could easily have won this entire pose, but a little too small, little too slight. Definitely beating these two gentlemen, though. Here's the two top guys. I would have given this one to Kevin Levrone based on his conditioning and those abs. But Chris Cormier really nails this shot. Look at the silhouette. When you do that, I mean, it's an easy win for Cormier, or Cormier, whatever you call him. Those biceps are incredible. He's a large version of Dexter Jackson. Look at the legs on Cormier as well. Fantastic. So big points for Cormier here. And when I look at the first call out in the front lat spread, it means more points for Cormier. Anyway, Dexter Jackson, little too small. Never the best pose for him anyway. Kevin Levrone, ditto with him, but of course he is bigger. When all things are equal, you know the saying. This was the only front lat spread shot that I could find of Günter Schlierkamp, and he does look ripped. I'm here to tell you. This is from the 2002 or 3 show of strength, and it was just right down the road from the Olympia, so he was actually better at the Olympia. I'm going to give him the win out of this lineup. These are the two top guys. Ronnie Coleman usually would win this pose, but he's just not as pronounced. His muscle separation could be a little bit better than Cormier's, but Cormier's silhouette, once again, my soul, Cormier. He was you guys talk about Kevin Levrone, Günter Schlierkamp is the Uncrowned. It looks good here for Chris Cormier, and I'm not paying attention at all of how stupid I'm going to look, of who I place in first. I'm judging this how I see fit. And I'm sure you guys at home are doing the same thing. So another 4 points for Chris. Ronnie Coleman falls dead last, and this is a controversial one. I'm sure most of you probably place him a little bit higher, considering his conditioning. But he's not very big, and you look at the midsection, take a good look. Little tiny on Chris Cormier, great big round belly on Ronnie Coleman. I never liked the silhouette of his side chest anyway. Dexter Jackson, the smallest in this lineup, but the best if you ask me. An easy win for him. Okay, first and second, go to Gunter and to Kevin Levrone. Gunter, he's so big, he easily mowed through the other three gentlemen, and Kevin Levrone, very hard to beat his side chest. Gunter falls dead last. Is this the first time that he lost completely in a pose? I think so. No tricep on him whatsoever. An awkward pose anyway. Chris Cormier getting ripped off a little bit, in my opinion. He would have had a decent side tricep, but this camera angle, we have to go with what we have. Enough to beat Gunter, though. Not bad at all from Ronnie Coleman. He could have easily placed second in this one. But I don't know. I'm gonna place him first in this lineup. Dexter Jackson earns himself a second place. Now this is a bad angle, much like Chris Cormier's. But of course, I did review the event on tape or on the video on YouTube, and he did have a fantastic side tricep. So it's too bad the camera didn't catch him right on. Very aesthetic. What can I say? Kevin Levrone easily pulls a victory out of this one, out of this pose. Nobody man enough to be able to touch him in this one this year. And now we get into the back shots. There's going to be some heavy points delivered here. Oh, and speaking of points, I should have mentioned this at the beginning. I reviewed all the routines, and I do have a juicy 1 point for the winner of the routine competition. I'll let you know who won at the end of this. Chris Cormier, what can I say? The silhouette looks good. It's not the widest lat spread, not the best pose for him as far as the two back shots. His glutes are his failing. They're small anyway, and they are soft. Take a look. It's terrible, and he had some good hamstrings during his day, but judging by this shot, nah. Dexter Jackson, he is good. His conditioning's awesome. Just way too small to compete with the big men. As far as Gunter is concerned, Gunter, he would have taken second, maybe even first in this one, if not for that soft bay-dunk, o-donk, badonka-donka big bum. Still a lot harder and more striated than Cormier's. That's too bad for Chris. Levrone had enough shape and symmetry to defeat Günter Schlierkamp in this pose, but it was close. Neither of them are even close to Ronnie Coleman. This man is the king for a reason, and this jumps up his average placing big time. Okay, next back shot. Poor Dexter, just too small. Although the conditioning was there, not bad at all. Chris Cormier, and Kevin Levrone had a nice little battle in this one. Chris Cormier looks a little bit more conditioned this time in the hamstrings and in the glutes. Perhaps the timing is off in the rear lat spread. Far better pose for him anyway when you look at the back development. He could have even came close to the one of these two guys, and of course it would have been Günter Schlierkamp. But Gunter, his arms, his delts, his traps, they were just dwarfing that of Chris Cormier's. And his glutes actually look not too bad at all, not too bad. And the hamstrings to boot, here in Canada. Anyway, Ronnie Coleman, you can't beat him in the back shots when you look at the glutes, the hamstrings, the conditioning. My soul, my soul. Like I said, he was the king for a reason. So this could jump him up. Ronnie Coleman could be winning this entire competition. The ab and thigh was a tricky one. And like I said, I did judge this one already, but I didn't add it up, so I don't know who won. I'm here to tell you it is close. It is close. Coleman, I would have given him this one out of all three of these guys. He has the thighs there. Not a bad V-taper, a little bit round, bottle-like in the stomach, but he has the worst midsection of all time. And if you know me in my judging, I place a little bit more emphasis on the abs than the thigh in this one and the aesthetics. Kevin Levrone, very aesthetic, but the thigh, I don't like the way he is holding them. Otherwise, I would have given him this lineup. Günter Schlierkamp, probably the ugliest out of the three, but he has the thigh, the striations, the feathering, not a bad set of abs, and the conditioning, the overall conditioning looks the best. So I had to give him this lineup. Dexter and Chris had the best ab and thigh out of the bunch, in my opinion. Should be yours too. I mean, my soul. Look at the midsections on both men, keeping in mind that this is not a very good picture of Chris Cormier, and I don't know why the photographers were not there, ready to snap his ab and thigh. Look at the striations in his thigh. That is what got him the nod against Dexter. Two of the greatest ab and thighs. Very underrated for Chris. We are running a little bit long in the video, so I'm just going to shoot through these. Ask me in the comment section below if you want to know why I picked certain gentlemen. Dexter Jackson loses this one. Cormier second to last. Ronnie Coleman wins this lineup. Here's the two top guys. Kevin Levrone should have probably won this one. A little bit too small and slender in the lag department. So big points for Günter Schlierkamp. Of course, this is the most muscular, so this gets a little bit difficult to add these ones up. I'm giving a half of the points that I usually give in an entire pose for this most muscular, and this is the crab position, and there'll be another half of what I normally give for this one, in which case Cormier gets half of nothing, which is 0. Dexter takes the 0.5 in this one. He's just so much harder than Cormier. Cormier a little soft, if you ask me. I love Levrone's pose here. I would have given him a little bit higher, but of course these two gentlemen, hard to beat Ronnie Coleman in the crab most muscular, even in this weakened condition. But if you look over there at Günter Schlierkamp, it's easy to see why he picks up the full victory in the most muscular. He got the win in the first and in the second, the crab. But before I add this up, I'm giving Kevin Levrone 1 point. You heard me mention earlier, I'm giving a point to the man with the best routine. And if you watch them, guys, I'm telling you right now, if you claim to love bodybuilding, watch his routine to the music. Oh man, opens your soul right up and it wants to come out and play. I'm telling you right now. What a routine, one of my favorites, one of my top 5 routines of all time. Brings a tear to my eye, the tear of intensity. So Levrone gets a well-deserved point. And we're going to add these up, and I'm telling you guys, it was close. I have this man in 5th place, Dexter Jackson. I mean, he was good, mind you, but just a little too small to compete with the rest of the gentlemen. It was an all-star lineup after all. In 4th place, this will get me some controversy, I'm sure. Ronnie Coleman, not a very good version of him at all, and he placed very low in certain poses. That brought his average way down. And in 3rd place, Chris Cormier. He was very close to the 2nd place participant, I am here to tell you. He did very good in a lot of the poses. He lacked that separation in them glutes, or he could have easily won this competition, I am here to tell you. And in second place, Kevin Levrone. So, you know what that means, guys. In my belief, and if you had asked me before I made this video, I would have said, no way, no way, no way. But here is your 2002 uncrowned Mr. Olympia champion, Günter Schlierkamp. A very popular decision. I'll probably agree to that, but I'm telling you right now, I would not have agreed to this if I had not laid it out all on the line and did the poses. He placed pretty high in quite a few of the poses. In particular, that most muscular really pushed him over to the edge. And if not for that, he may have not won. Anyway, Kevin Levrone, he did defeat Ronnie Coleman. And so did Chris Cormier. Very underrated version of Chris Cormier. Anyway, don't forget to have your protein shakes, guys. And if you already did your workout and already did your protein shake, have a piece of fish. Then go ahead and tap the thumbs up and hit a subscribe button as well if you haven't already. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Have a great day.